Welcome to another flight. Today I'm trying out two things. Got a new video monitor and I'm flying with 6-inch tri-blades because they have less jello in the video. And it was pretty calm wind today, so it was a great time to try to test out those tri-blades, and there I'm just straightening out on my hand launch before I get back to the monitor. Yeah, I was flying with a 27-inch and I felt like that monitor was a little too big. This is the new one. It's a just cheap Scepter 22-inch, and because I'm showing how my stand adjusts up and down so I can get my radio out in front of it, and then that puts the screen right in my face, which is a great immersive experience. But I'm finding this 22 inches way better ergonomically. Still a real good picture, but it was like a lot cheaper display as well. So yeah, these are Gemfan 6045 tri-blades, and I definitely noticed, like especially on the launch, I really need to give it another 20% throttle to get the thrust that I want and need for climbing. And that's the big difference between what I usually fly is the twin blade 7042 Gemfans. And I love those blades, those twin blades, for the thrust and efficiency I get out of them. But yeah, just jello at 45 to 55% throttle, and I don't really get that much jello at all with these. Tri-blades are always a little better balanced. Here I'm just doing a little circle around. That's a campground back there, and it's Memorial Day weekend, so I was just checking out how many people were there. Everyone's kind of heading out and leaving on Monday afternoon, so. And so my plan is to get up to the ridge lines, probably fly in a little closer proximity than I typically do when the wind is nice and calm. And there's a system coming in, so the weather isn't as spectacular blue skies that we usually get. We've been getting out here, but boy, has it been windy, constant wind, and kind of ironic, this low pressure system just coming in, but it calmed off the wind. So yeah, I'm coming up to the first ridge here that I usually fly to. There's this little shed cabin on a small piece of private property that's totally surrounded by national forest land. Yeah, right there off the right, you can see that little shed down there. And I'm getting a little bit of jello here. Not terrible though compared to the 7-inch twin blades. So yeah, then decide to just fly up this ridge line here, and I'm really liking the tuning that I did on the cruise mode, and because I can get a lot of altitude adjustment and command out of it that I really wanted, which I wasn't getting on the stock settings. So if you're curious about that, look at my previous video or videos a couple back that there's the settings in iNav for allowing you to have a little bit more command and altitude when you're in cruise mode. Because in the iNav configurator, it's really kind of a misleading name. But if the name of the parameter, if you were to look at the command line parameters in iNav, makes a lot more sense. But anyway, yeah, I'm just enjoying this calm wind and cruise up. There's a lookout up here. I was kind of curious, did anybody go camping up there? Because it's a little bit steep to get up to this spot, but there's a little lookout up here that might be kind of a fun place for somebody to camp. yeah, it's coming up here on the left is this lookout, a clearing there. That there's a spur road that goes up to that. But yeah, I didn't see anybody. So now I'm gonna head over to that middle ridge and fly up that ridge. There's really cool rock outcroppings on the way up there. Because I started on a battery that was only 75%. I didn't go over to the far right. That back third ridge back is actually really cool too. But I was afraid I wasn't going to have enough juice to get all the way over to the high peak. So here, that was in loiter. Excuse me. Just that lower rock outcropping, but there's a bigger one up here, and I decided rather than going into loiter mode, I just stay in cruise mode here and do a big sweeping turnaround, because there's no wind at all right here, or turbulence, which typically there can be turbulence coming over this ridge line. And you'll see as I get up to the next ridge line, there actually is. There's quite a bit of turbulence if I don't edit it all out. But yeah, here, this was really fun to be able to pan the camera over while I'm in cruise mode, and then just do a long sweeping wing point at this. It's like a rhyolite volcanic plug. There's a lot of that around here in the Cascades. And then that white spot caught my eye for a second there on the top of the ridge. And we do have mountain goats up here, so I'm like, was that a mountain goat? So I decided to go back over. It was not a mountain goat, because it did look kind of small, and yeah, it's just some dead wood. Sun bleached dead wood, which there's a lot of out here. Yeah, those just logs down there, but that was a fantastic view of that. Kind of hanging out there. And then next, I decided to head up to the next ridge, but rather than trying to do a steep climb here, because I'm in cruise mode, I decided to do a manual orbit, try to gain the altitude. I need to be up like almost another 1,000 feet to get over that ridge. So yeah, I just start doing that's why I put the OSD on here. You can see I'm in cruise, but I'm pulling up on the elevator, orbiting around here, gaining about 10 feet per second, excuse me. And I add it out because I do about 4 or 5 orbits to get up to where I wanted to be, a little over 2,000 feet there. And yeah, there I am coming up over the top of this next outcropping on the end. And here, I think I threw it into the automated loiter mode here, because there was, so like I said, as soon as I get up to this next ridge, there was some turbulent wind kicking up over this. And you'll really see it here, where I just keep cruising straight ahead. I edit out most of it, but right here, I'm not touching the stick at all in cruise mode, and the wind is just jostling the plane around right there, all on its own. Yeah, and then decided to dive down to the front ridge that's just off the left of the nose of the plane there with this open. Yeah, I decided to go jump into acro mode and do a dive down for something different. Doing a lot of altitude changes takes up a lot of time in the flight, so because there's a lot of distance involved in the altitude changes than just flying around flat. But yeah, this was kind of fun diving down here. I typically have a little bit of a dead spot to my home base here, but I had my ground antenna in a slightly different place, and it actually did pretty well. So I might use that antenna spot more often. And loop around down this is a fun one to dive down. Yeah, and then down here below the ridge, perfectly calm wind, everything's protected. Just so fun to fly when not being bounced all over the place. Yeah, and I haven't really checked out these lower two brown spots, so I throw it into loiter, but I have my loiter set up so I can change the direction with the rudder stick, which is really cool. It's just left rudder, and then it'll go the left, right rudder, it'll go right. Yeah, it's just an opening of probably an old slide, and that's about it. So I'm heading back here. 22 minutes of flight, so I did cut down, pretty much cut in half the video of what I actually flew, and getting a lot more comfortable with taking my packs, my lithium ion packs, down a little bit below 3.5. This lithium ion packs, these are the Molicel P50Bs, which is a 5,000 milliamp capacity with a 60 amp continuous, which is pretty awesome. They've been awesome, and I haven't noticed a single bit of loss in these packs. So treating them well, not getting too close to 3 volts per cell. You can see there in the upper right where it says 3.46 volts. That's the average volts per cell. And they really have done well. I think they're going to last a really long time. They say 1,000 cycles, and I've only got about 45 cycles on 2 different packs of the same cells. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good weekend.